last week on Rad Rolls.
We are in a swamp, guys, so building a fire might be a little hard.
You start to lose consciousness as you see from the top of the pool little tiny legs that are strangely blue, and behind it comes two green hands reaching down into the water, and you pass out. Something tastes off. It is incredibly wet, and you look down and you realize that you have a hand in your mouth that you have taken a bite out of, that you have been so focused on Signal, the super mutant, that you have taken a bite out of a hand. So you have taken a bite out of a hand that is still attached to this pile of Meyerlark meat. And Signal looks at you, Lonnie, and say, "Mayor, like meal?"
I'll be honest, this isn't a cuisine I've tried before. I believe this is is this a ghoul recipe? Where'd you find this, Signal?
Signal says, looks at you, Lonnie, and says, "Signal made vroom vroom with Pep. Signal went fishing. Signal caught Meyerlark. Signal give Mayor Lonnie Meyerlark."
Am I conscious for this part?
Buck, right now, you seem to find yourself awakening in a pile of meat surrounded by your hands are unbound, but your legs are still bound and your mouth is gagged. All of a sudden, you feel a sharp pain in your hand. You realize that you are alive, but you are in a very strange place. What is this situation? What are people doing? Lonnie just ate a person by accident. Buck has had a hard time here. What's going on?
I immediately I try to get up, but I'm on a table, so I'm just like and I kind of like panic, and I'm just like who are you? I'm covered in meat.
So you're actually gagged.
I'm still gagged.
If you could please roll survival plus strength, difficulty 0.
I don't think I want to, but I'm biting my tongue off or something here. 11 and a 12.
Your other hand actually slips into some Meyerlark meat, and it forms into kind of one of the Meyerlark claws. And instead of saying help, you kind of poke your hand out, and it has like a little Meyerlark glove on it, and you're waving it around, and you're just going. So what's the group doing here?
I believe Shakespeare once said that.
I think Clark is gonna think that it's an alive Meyerlark that's just the table. Maybe he missed the part about the hand because he was chowing down on the jerky, and he's just kind of going to draw his sword and just very gently kind of poke into the mass of the Meyerlark.
I don't think Lonnie is going to have nearly the measured approach that Clark has. I think after having bitten a hand and seeing all this stuff, I'm going to spit it out, take about 3 steps back, maybe stumble, and just immediately gun drawn at the back.
Yeah, May has a piece of this crawfish boil like in her mouth, and she's about 2 or 3 bites into what she was eating, and her eyes are tracking what's going on, but she hasn't stopped eating.
I think Pep is going to be a little surprised because he's maybe seeing the human hand bit and waving claw. I think he's going to exclaim, "They're hybrids! It's a Meyerlark human hybrid! It's a new species! We should probably kill it!" And I'm going to start getting my pipe wrench ready.
A werelurk?
I'm going to die.
Clark, why don't you roll perception plus melee weapons difficulty 0?
Okay. Perception is 5, melee weapons is 4, and is a tagged skill. I got 1 success, which turns into 2 because it's a tag.
So you poke your sword into the pile, and it actually pulls back the gag that is in the character Buck's mouth. The gag falls off of him. Before Buck can say anything, you hear a small electronic voice go, "Die, communist."
Hazel's still over there watching this, still eating.
So Buck, you can now speak. You were still in the pile, but you can now speak to these people.
I think the first thing he's gonna scream is, "For the love of George Washington, I'm not a Mirelurk. Please don't eat me."
That's something a Mirelurk hybrid would say. And it hates commies.
I don't even know what a Mirelurk is. Just get this meat off me, please.
Can Clark take the back of his sword, not the sharp part, and just start sweeping off some of this meat for this poor guy?
Yeah, he does that. You don't need to roll for that. He does that automatically. And beneath this pile of meat, you see a man in a vault suit, blue and gold vault suit. And Signal kind of looks at the man and says, "Mirelurk," and kind of points at Buck.
Not that I know of, no. But thanks for asking, I guess.
So we'll take a quick stop here. And Jaden, why don't you introduce Buck to the group?
Absolutely. So Buck is a native of Vault 28. He is a young man in his early 20s who has had a real rough go of it recently. He was forced out of his vault under the most horrible penalty ever, or the most horrible crime you could ever be accused of, being a communist. His vault is very much a pro-American, pro-capitalist vault where they believe in truth, justice, and the American way, just as our forefathers intended when they descended from the mothership. As you can tell, he might not have the best grasp on what the true American story is, but he has the American story that he was taught in the vault, and he believes that is the right American story. So you may find some things get confused with the poor lad, but he truly does mean well, as does all Americans, really.
Buck is now revealed. How does the scene play out? You've uncovered this man that you thought was some Mirelurk meat. What is going on right now?
I think Clark would have. He's a little bit older, so maybe he's come into contact with people from vaults before, and he's kind of aware that some of them turn out to be a little bit loony because of the experiments that they undergo, and sort of under his breath he goes, "Oh, great, we got another one."
Pep's very disappointed because he was really looking forward to the entire point of the road trip from his settlement is to learn new things, and learning about a Mirelurk human hybrid would have been something new and something cool. Instead, it's just some vault suit guy. That's disappointing. And Pep does not hide his disappointment.
Buck's first reaction to finally getting himself free and getting off the table is to do the American thing, which is to pull his gun and start blazing away. But he realizes that he's in no condition to fight. He just kind of goes like, "Hi, everyone. Thanks for helping me."
So Hazel is trying to figure out this guy in a vault suit is obviously injured, but as far as she can tell, it looks like most of his injuries they look like the kind of injuries that you would accidentally do to yourself if you're really clumsy. So she's kind of trying to figure out how he's quite so torn up.
Roll, if you want to figure that out, do you want to figure that out and heal him, or do you just want to figure it out for now?
Well, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to not heal him until the rest of the group gives us a consensus on whether he's going to be a threat or not.
Yeah, do perception plus what's the healing one? Perception plus medicine, difficulty 0.
4 and an 8. I've got a tag skill, so that's 4 successes.
So you realize that even though this guy looks pretty hurt, this guy has not been exposed to the world yet, and you feel like that he only has a few cuts on him, but they seem to be paining him greatly. The one thing that you notice that would be rather hard is there is a big hole kind of in the palm of his hand, like on the side underneath the pinky finger. There's like a nice little chunk taken out of that, and that looks like a more difficult situation.
It looks like you've had a pretty tough time there. What's your name?
The name's Buck. Buck. Well, my friends call me Buck. My real name's John. John Roosevelt, descendant of the great hero of the battle against the Spanish. As you all know. Yeah, it's been an eventful evening to say the least. I woke up in a hole of water and then woke up on a table covered in. I look over the big guy. Go, would you call this big guy Murlac?
Mirelurk there, mon ami. So you fresh out the vault?
Yeah, as of 2 days ago, I suppose. I got in some trouble with the overseers, of the head of security there. He thought I was a communist. So, of course, that had to be removed with extreme prejudice. I'm not, of course. I would never. I don't even have the horns. I don't know why you would think that.
Hazel kind of cocks her head, like, okay. Do you want me to do something about your hand?
Could you? I really appreciate that. It really hurts.
All right, I'm going to glance over at Lonnie to make sure, to kind of get the green light with the process.
Yeah, let me the hand, let me here, this
Spit
might
it out, Mayor. Spit it out.
Yeah.
this might help. Damnedest thing happened. Someone ran in here and shoved your hand in my mouth. I don't know what happened.
Listen, it's not the weirdest thing that's happened to me today.
I think they had horns. But anyway,
Seriously? Wait, don't joke about that now.
I would never.
So Hazel's just gonna
Today's been bad enough. I can't run into a communist right now.
just gonna walk up, and while he's talking, just look at his hand and all right, I can do something about this.
Okay, so roll difficulty 1, medicine plus. You've already perceived it, so I'm gonna say medicine plus intelligence, difficulty 0.
Okay. I've also got medic.
Yeah.
It gives me I can re-roll one of my d20s if I don't roll well.
Great.
I got a 1 and an 18, and I'm gonna re-roll 1, 2, 9. So 4 successes.
You've healed. Hand is going to remain a little bit wonky for a minute. When you are actually healing, Buck, Hazel, a red light flashes on the Pip-Boy and says,
"Wimps don't take aid from communists."
And then the screen goes dark.
I'm not a communist. I'm an academic.
I hear sometimes you guys one and the same.
We'll have a conversation about that later, when I don't have pieces of your anatomy literally scattered across my the top of my skin. So we'll work on that later.
Okay. I don't think you're a communist, though. I mean, you're not 12 feet tall. I don't think you have a tail.
The screen on the Pip-Boy flashes red and says,
"They are a communist."
And then it flashes off.
I can fix that for you.
Would you?
You could?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. It's been funky ever since I was stuck in that hole.
Hey, Signal, you got your super sledge?
Signal has sledge for Hazel. Hazel, fix fridge.
That might just do it.
Do you want to try to bash the Pip-Boy off of him with the super sledge?
I don't have melee.
Does Buck consent to this first?
You can try.
Buck kind of realizes what you're talking about. I'm like, you know what? I think it's okay. I think I'm all right.
Can you copy the stuff off of mine and put it on his?
I mean, I'm pretty good swinging the thing. I can break it off probably.
I mean, you all can try if you agree to.
Well,
I'm just
We'll
saying
try.
that to the party. Can you copy the stuff and overwrite that?
Oh, wait, are you from a vault too? I heard there's a lot of them.
There are quite a few of them. This has been on me about 24 hours. Yeah, I'm not from a vault. I'm from Nolans. Pretty close, but
Where is that? Is that anywhere near New Orleans?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of things have changed since the vaults happened. I have quite the history lesson in store for you.
Well, I have one to teach you guys too. That's one of the core tenets of the vault, is to make sure everyone knows the true American.
Buck, I got a question for you real quick. What year do you think it is?
Last I checked, it was we were in the 2200s, right?
All right, just checking, just checking. Also, do you
Yeah.
know what a death claw is?
A death what now?
Death claw? Because what you think is a communist, we all call death claws, and I don't think they're the same thing.
That sounds scary, whatever it is.
At this point, Mark realizes that Buck is not a threat and kind of rolls his eyes and resheathes his sword and goes back to eating his jerky.
Hazel is done patching him up, and so she just gonna kind of go back over and finish her lunch too.
At this point, a red screen appears on Buck's Pip-Boy and says,
You must kill the communists.
I don't know. If these guys are communists, this is a pretty helpful group of communists. Not that all communists are good, but I mean, these guys just don't seem like it to me. They seem like good Americans, Mr. Pip-Boy.
the screen lights up and says,
Wimp.
Well, that's just mean. Oh wait, you said that you're from a place that's New Orleans, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Do you know anything about Andrew Jackson?
Hazel knows quite a bit about Andrew Jackson, but she's not going to say anything because she wants to see where this is going.
Yep.
Please, I need your help. I need to find his sword. It's the only thing that can help me get back into my vault. The others, they thought I wasn't patriotic enough. But if I come back with that sword, the weapon that is impugned with the power of the founding fathers, there's no way they could keep me out anymore.
So at this point, something kind of clicks in Clark's head. He actually spent some time in the Capitol building when the Talon Company was trying to find some artifacts or whatever they happened to be doing there. And so something will sort of click at the name Andrew Jackson. Maybe he saw statues or something about the presidents there. And he'll sort of say, any chance this sword you're looking for might have been kept at the nation's capital?
You know what? Yeah, it probably did. Listen, did you see a sword that glowed with the pure fire of every red-blooded American?
Buddy, I got some bad news for you. Capital's a war zone. There's not much left there.
A red screen appears in your Pip-Boy and says,
A capital idea is killing these socialist liberators.
Look, can you shut that thing up before I cut it off your hand?
I want to look for the volume knob.
You look for the volume knob. There is no volume knob. In fact, it has been sliced off. It seems like in some mishap, possibly with a piece of wood. You do have the connection loop hanging off of the of your Pip-Boy at this time.
Is there? Do I see the off switch on it?
No, that is also gone.
That is also gone. Okay.
Yes.
Disabled.
Well, I'm just gonna be like, I just don't pay any mind to that. I'm just gonna smack it, just like tap it, and then I'm gonna take the connection port and I'm gonna plug it back into the Pip-Boy.
When you slap it, you feel a static shock on your arm. It does 0 damage. But then you hear the voice from inside the Pip-Boy go,
Communist trash.
You know, the super sledge is still an option.
Thanks, but I'm a vault dweller. I can't live without this thing, even if it is being pretty annoying right now.
Now, Lonnie, why doesn't your Pip-Boy have an abusive talking feature?
Probably another parting gift from Wilson.
I look at Pep, and then I side-eye signal, and then I look at Pep again. Like,
That's a good point. Maybe I'm going to regret asking this, but Signal, where did you get this Pip-Boy from that you gave to Mayor Lonnie?
Signal found Pip-Boy on Buck, but Lonnie Heber got Pip-Boy from Old Nolans' vault. Great vault in All Nolans.
Wait, you know where another vault is?
Signal loves vault people in Old Nolans. You realize, by the way, Lonnie, you have knowledge that most of the citizens that walk around All Nolans all wear Pip-Boys. It's you are familiar with the knowledge, being a human from New Orleans, but most people walk around with Pip-Boys in Old Nolans.
wow. Okay, so it's this is just common hardware.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Am I familiar with the vault in Nolans?
Yes, you are familiar with the vault in Nolans. You know that most of the people that are in New Orleans, in Old Nolans, are ghouls that have Pip-Boys, and most of them are from the local vault. Those are the native Old Nolans people.
So we have a lad from Vault 28, and that's, I mean, because people would have the jumpsuits, and we're probably seeing plenty of the 18s. And I imagine if anyone got kicked out of 28, they would either end up at Baton Rouge or Old Nolans or dead, right? So, like, it wouldn't shock me if someone. So I think 28 is probably a revelation to Lonnie. So this right here, he may not have heard of anyone from 28. Someone in Nolans may have heard about someone from 28, but Lonnie certainly hasn't.
At this point, Signal looks at Lonnie and says, Mayor Lonnie, Pip-Boy, help?
What type of help do you have in mind, Signal?
Signal looks at Lonnie and says, Pip-Boy, fix Buck.
You think you can fix it?
Signal, try. Signal like Mirelurk.
Well, gee, fella, I think I like you too. Seem like a good American to me.
At this moment, the red screen flashes on your Pip-Boy and says,
Look at this socialist. You need to kill him.
You know what? I gotta be honest, fellas. I don't have a lot of friends. Not since I got kicked out of the vault there, and you guys might all be a bunch of communists, but right now I don't got a lot of options. So, big fella, if you wouldn't mind taking a look, I'd be eternally grateful.
Signal reaches over and kind of takes your hand and takes Lonnie's hand and connects your Pip-Boys together. At this point, Signal takes Lonnie's Pip-Boy and types in a few things. Lonnie, you notice on the screen that the Pip-Boy starts flashing yellow, and it says remote connection, virus detected, terminate connection.
Hey, Hazel. What's a virus? Like, I mean, not like a, I get a cold virus, but like when it comes to these Vault Boy things.
So they're obviously not talking about a biological virus. There's such a thing as a technological virus that tends to infect technology that is vacuum tube technology, any robotics. A virus basically will corrupt programming. Sometimes maliciously, sometimes it's random, sometimes it's done on purpose. We might be able to get rid of it if we can basically set the Pip-Boy back to original factory specs. Basically, we tried turning it off and on again.
Oh, they don't make antibiotics?
Well, there's still the super sledge is still an option.
Oh, okay. Like they don't shoot mercury into the Oxport or anything, or?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I've heard that was a fix for some viruses.
Well, it used to be very useful for syphilis during the Lewis and Clark expedition, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, Lewis and Clark. I know them.
Personally?
No, but I've heard of them. Those are the guys that destroyed all of the communists who were guarding the valleys. They blazed a literal trail of fire all the way to the ocean, to the Pacific.
Oh, Buck, me and you are going to have some conversations in the future.
I'd love that.
Yeah. But for right now, let's see if we can get your Pip-Boy fixed so it's not constantly telling you to kill us all.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. A couple more times and I might have already started listening.
So, Hazel, would you like to roll a intelligence plus repair, difficulty 0?
I would love to.
Please fail it.
It makes it worse.
Please.
2 successes.
Great. So you managed to fiddle with this Pip-Boy, and essentially turn it off, even though it doesn't have the on/off button anymore. And it powers back on. The screen kind of loads up. However, the walking Pip-Boy animation looks like it is Uncle Sam dressed as a Vault Boy. And a voice comes out of a blue screen on the Pip-Boy that says,
Tally ho!
And then a red screen appears and says,
Communist.
But then it fades to green. and you notice that these animations are gone, and it seems like the Pip-Boy is fixed for now.
I think it'll work the way it's supposed to at this point. However, it's possible we didn't completely wipe the virus out. So maybe we should try not to do anything that might trigger it again.
Okay, yeah. That sounds like a good idea. We don't want to cause anything bad to happen.
At this point, for some reason, both of your Pip-Boys ring a telephone signal.
Rivercrawler Caravan, this is Ella. I need all of you to come to O'Nolans. I have some supplies for you and a matter of desperate urgency I need you all to solve. This is in accordance with our contract with Rivercrawler Caravan of being a support of O'Nolans, so I expect you all here quickly.
At this point, the message clicks off and Signal goes, Ella, girlfriend.
Does Ella know that?
Signal looks at Mayor Lonnie and blushes his yellow blush and says, no.
Is there, since we're heading that way, is there anything you'd like for us to give her?
Signal goes over to Buck and yanks off the Mirelurk claw that's been stuck to his hand this whole time, and hands it to Mayor Lonnie and says, gift.
You got it, Monome.
And the outside world really has changed.
Oh, buddy, you got a lot to learn.
Do we know in Ella?
But Signal answers and says, Ella, best friend. Ella, preservation. Preservation, wonderful. Go, preservation. Go, Mayor Lonnie. He, and friends. Plus, pet, Mirelurk.
Well, I guess we got Mayor Lonnie and the rest of us are friends. And Vault Boy is the pet. We can take our new car.
Signal reaches down and pats Buck on the head. Buck, if you would please roll a I'm gonna have you roll an endurance plus athletics, difficulty 0.
Got a 20 and a 19.
Oh my god.
Signal reaches down to pat you on the head. And actually it when he pats you on the head, it's almost like your body shakes and it shakes your Pip-Boy awake and says,
no.
I'll always be here for you, capitalist.
I'll be here for you too, Pip-Boy. I guess. If it's all the same to you guys, would you mind me coming along with you? You know, this old Nolan's place is probably one step closer to me finding that sword.
Yeah, sure thing. I believe our capitalist friend here is really going to like what he sees in old Nolan's. And Lonnie has trouble containing his laughter.
Yeah, this area seems kind of scary, but I bet a true red-blooded American city is probably spectacular, even after the bombs fell.
Capitalist dream, my friend. Capitalist dream.
Ah, can't wait.
Hey, it's your friendly halftime show from Rad Rolls. This is Dave. I'm the GM of the podcast. I do a lot of things here on the halftime show, including thanking our players, May and Michael and Jaden and Jared and Cody. All are wonderful people. Go follow their stuff, see what they're up to. The other thing that I mention is that we are raising money for Extra Life. You can find that in the link below. $10 will get you a shout out on the show. $40 will get you the ability to name a character. What's my character name this week? I'm going to go with maybe Jenkins McJingleface is probably a great character name. The other thing that you can do to support the show is give us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. I believe next week I'm going to start reading them off on Apple Podcasts. So that's another way to get your name read in the show. It's just giving us a nice 5-star review with a little nice write-up on Apple Podcasts. It's nice. Hey, while you're there, go review other podcasts that you listen to, because it means a lot to pretty much any podcast that you listen to, especially the independent ones. I wanted to talk to you this week about Ghastbasters. Ghastbasters is a D12-powered tabletop role-playing game. I asked Jared if there was anything that he wanted to talk about or throw out there for a little halftime show, and he brought up this really interesting narrative-focused tabletop RPG made by one of the folks that's actually local to Jared. It's kind of like Ghastbusters meets SCP meets Stranger Things meets Cthulhu mythos. It's a really interesting system, and it's pretty cheap. You can actually go to their itch.io page, which I'll link down below, and check it out. If you're interested, go ahead and buy a copy. They've got a nice little adventure toolkit for the Tulpa effect. Tulpas are like fake people from the mind, if you watch Twin Peaks or any kind of like strange thing like that. They're often featured there. I think that's it for me, though, this week. I'll let you get back to the show. I don't have a band or a musical act, but I do have this little transitional music.
Well, considering the, I'm going to name the car Maybelline. We're taking Maybelline, our 2-seater, basically slightly faster than walking vehicle. I imagine we're going to have to stick to whatever looks the most like a road.
While we're traveling, if there's a point where like I can like kind of hang back from everyone, I kind of want to like look at my Pip-Boy, and I want to say like I'm talking to him, she'll be like, okay, now that we're alone, what is going on? You spoke up too loudly when they were there. If they were communists, I'd be dead right now. Are you trying to get me killed?
All of a sudden, the screen turns red and says,
What is your name?
My name's Buck. John Buck Roosevelt.
Your name is Duck?
No, Buck.
Well, you were a weak duck for not killing those communists when you saw them. Just know, I'm always gonna be here. You need me. You're supposed to make America great. You're supposed to find the sword. I know your whole mission. I was put here by the Overseer, and I will make sure that you kill the communists and restore America to its former glory.
Okay, but if they really are communists, we need to figure that out first. All right? Let me do some investigative work. Don't start screaming at them.
We'll see what I decide to do. You don't tell me what to do. You're not the government, because the government can't tell me what to do, because that's not the role of the government. The government doesn't answer to anyone except for me, because I am the president of your Pip-Boy.
Okay, I understand that the government is at the same time the most powerful and most useless thing. But you need to listen to me right now. All right? I need to investigate this my way. Let me talk to them.
Please roll intelligence plus speech, difficulty 0.
Intelligence is 5, speech is 2. All right, 3 and a 9. So 2 successes.
So the screen turns on in a red light and says,
I will keep to myself. For you, weak duck. I will do what I deem is necessary, and I will speak when I need to. But for the most part, I'll leave you to make your own decisions. Just know, I'm watching you. And you better make good results this quarter, or else you're fired.
Name's Buck, man. And then I turn it off and I just kind of, hey guys, wait up!
Does anybody have a D6 near them? You are going to get to our first wild, wacky wasteland encounter. And I don't know what is going to happen. These are kind of like little snippet scenarios that are pretty quick, that are kind of wild and wacky. So if somebody could roll a D6 and let me know what they rolled, I will tell you what your encounter is.
Okay. It is a 6.
Oh,
Uh
that's not good.
Always great son.
oh.
While your party is moving along the road, there is a low groan in the distance. Along the trail, you hear a low wah. Wah.
Wario.
You grow close to the sound and you see a burlap sack. What do you do?
And it's clear that the sound is coming from the burlap sack, correct?
Yeah, you hear from the burlap sack a wah.
Clark, as Minister of Defense, what do you propose?
Say no more. And he draws out his sword. His standard moves. He sticks it with the pointy end.
Please roll perception plus melee weapons.
Okay.
Difficulty 4.
Oh, good. Perception.
What is in this sack?
Perception's 5 and melee weapons is 4, so I only need 9s or lower. And it is attack skill, so it's 2 successes, another 2 successes, so I actually hit it.
All right. So you pull out your sword and poke this burlap sack. A side of it cuts and kind of opens, and you see this like pudgy little arm stick out. The arm is like purple. That you see. You realize that you've barely missed hitting this arm. And you hear a wah. Wah.
I don't know what this is. Should I kill it?
Hazel, as Minister of Education, what can you tell us about this?
I can tell
Thing.
you it's kind of freaking me out.
I would concur with that, Minister.
So I'm actually gonna get a little bit closer, and I'm actually gonna take the edge of the sack and kind of jiggle it a little bit to see if I can get a little bit more to come out.
Pep, as Minister of Transportation, I am asking you to go ahead and assess escape routes in case things get real strange.
I'm just gonna keep Maybelline moving forward while you guys deal with this. We're not going that fast.
Okay.
You guys
We'll
catch
just
up.
hop in the back after.
I was gonna keep rolling forward. You guys deal with purple baby arm. Everyone stay safe.
Yeah.
So when you grab the sack, you kind of shake it around. You hear the arm kind of like moves back and forth, and you kind of hear this like come from the sack, and the hole kind of gets bigger, and a tiny little leg shoots out from the sack. It's tiny, but it's kind of meaty at the same time, and you're not. It's purple, and you're not. It looks weird.
I'm getting ghoul baby vibes off this. It's freaking me out. But I am not going to stop. My curiosity is insatiable. I'm not going to stop till I can figure out what it is that's in this damn bag. So I'm going to give it like a little bit of jerk from the corner to try and get this thing out of the bag.
This thing have an egg tooth? Is it like hatching from?
Clark almost stabbed the baby.
Yeah. So did you stab a child?
Almost.
Almost.
I'm gonna have you roll strength plus speech, difficulty 0.
2 fails.
So you go to shake this bag, and the bag fully rips open. And before you can see the rest of it, it turns invisible. But then you hear a wah, oh wow.
Okay, out of character. Night Stalkers?
They exist.
They have babies?
The Night Stalker baby.
Well, more specifically, didn't they become Night Stalkers because they're addicted to using stealth boys?
Oh, Nightkin?
Yeah, the Nightkin.
Nightkin. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, mutations.
Yeah, one of them could have grabbed a baby and was like, "Let's play with it," and stuck stealth boys on it a bunch. That's out of character. In character, I don't know what the hell I just saw.
At this point, Hazel, you feel a warmth encompassed from pretty much your ankle to like above your knee, and like it almost feels like little arms and legs around your leg.
Ha!
It
Ghost
it
baby! Ghost
it,
baby!
it
Okay.
feels warm, and you hear a wow.
I think it imprinted on you.
That is not what I wanted to hear. Any suggestions?
I've got a doggy bag full of Mirelurk claws. I think we
I
all do. What we
I whisper to my Pip-Boy. Now see that seems like a communist.
um I think I may know some people in Old Island that can help.
Oh, okay. So,
At this point, the baby turns uninvisible. It seems like a purple baby that is larger than normal, that's very
hmm.
muscular and has its lips pulled up above its teeth, so all of its teeth are showing. But it looks at you with glistening eyes, Hazel. And I am actually going to have you an endurance plus speech check, difficulty 3.
Okay. Guys, can I use some of our AP points for this? I'm going to use one AP point for this. So it was speech and
Endurance for
Endurance.
difficulty 3.
speech and endurance.
GM with new and exciting combinations of dice rolls this evening.
This is my favorite part about this, how they set this up.
It's very interesting.
I had 1 success, 2 failures.
You look, Hazel, at this baby,
Mhm.
and you look in its eyes, and it is the most, it's not beautiful, but it's enchanting. You were enchanted by this little purple root vegetable of a baby.
Oh.
Same thing they said about me when I was born.
It is very tough. It is very strong, and this baby climbs up and sits on your shoulder. It's rather large for your shoulder, so you're kind of like holding over to the side. And then it actually pats you on the head,
Mhm.
and then runs off of you, strangely enough, and sits in the passenger side with Pep, and looks at you, Hazel, and pats the seat.
Our first Fallout themed familiar.
Let's name it Grogu.
Let's not. I'm I'm gonna go with aubergine on this one. It means eggplant. Eggplants used to be around before the war. Apparently, some people like them. Anyway, not important. I think we have to take it with us, mostly because I don't think there's any way we can get rid of it. And I don't really want to. I don't really want to kill it till I know what it is and who it belongs to.
Honey, you can't
Hazel,
be
I think I
serious.
might have a decent idea of what it might be.
Okay.
And if I'm correct, Old Nolans is exactly where we need to go.
Well, conveniently, that's the direction we're heading. So, you mentioned you had some Mirelurk jerky.
Oh yeah, you can have my bag. It's I mean, I haven't tasted it, but you know, last time I tried to have jerky, we won't open up old wounds, shall we?
How did I taste, by the way?
I didn't get to chew that much. A little soggy.
I pull out my Pip-Boy and I raise it up and I go, so he didn't like the taste. That means he's not a communist. They love human flesh. Everyone knows that.
A blue screen appears on your Pip-Boy and says,
Tally ho.
So, out of game, you don't secretly have like the cannibal perk, do you?
Not yet.
He might have. He might now.
He's getting there.
he's building some
Got
character,
plans.
that's for sure.
So, Lonnie, they have more of these in New Orleans?
So there's a bit of an enclave of super mutants in Old Nolans. They keep to themselves, and we don't bother them, and it just kind of works. But the fact of the matter is, there's a population of super mutants they might be the best to ask. I'm not entirely sure I want to burden Signal with the responsibility of fatherhood. We'll be more likely to find someone who can help there. So I think we're moving in the correct direction.
All right,
right.
well, tally ho.
Tally ho. Okay. I guess so. Tally ho.
That's a la bonne temps roulette.
You guys still say that? That's great.
Let's pull up my map here real quick. So, are you guys going to continue heading east towards New Orleans? I say that like you're going anywhere else.
Yeah.
I expect the answer to be yes.
I decide I want to go to Fresno now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Fresno anymore. You're not missing much.
So you arrive at a bridge. And there's a very large gate there. Okay, I found what I need. So the car pulls up to what is the name of the car again? What was the name?
Maybelline.
Maybelline.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybelline.
She was born with it.
She was born with it, with the duct tape on the windshield.
Maybe it was the apocalypse. Maybe it was Maybelline.
The mayor and his routine of characters pull up in Maybelline to a makeshift gate in front of a bridge. It doesn't look very sturdy, but there's something else. There's a super mutant that's standing tall and protecting the gate. They're kind of wearing busted out coveralls, and they're holding a makeshift mace that's kind of made out of a mop. What do you all do? This looks like the only method across this bridge.
Are there toll bridges in New Orleans?
Yeah, just about everyone's looking to make a quick buck around here.
I mean, I don't want to be crass, but we could trade him the baby.
That implies that the baby has value.
No, I think trafficking living creatures we're going to keep to a minimum on this particular trip. Unless the baby wants to stay with them, I think that the baby at this point decides.
It was just a suggestion, just saying. Super mutant to purple baby thing. Maybe he's more invested.
Bartering is a very American proverb, but I don't know if the baby has any value at this point.
Does the super mutant ask us for a toll at this point?
The super mutant's just looking, like you're far enough away from the super mutant that he sees the car in the group, but you're not within like talking range. I guess you could approach him and talk to him, but he's the super mutant's out of your range.
Do we want to hold Maybelline back and walk over, have a quick conversation?
No offense to you guys, but I'd rather you guys try out the bridge sturdiness before Maybelline makes that journey. So let's leave her here.
Mayor, want to disembark?
Yep, sounds good to me. We'll continue on foot, see what the toll situation's like, make our way across. Hopefully, peacefully.
So as you approach the gate, the super mutant kind of spies you, Lonnie, and you notice the super mutant makes himself taller, and kind of perks himself up and holds his mace right there in front of him.
I'll approach. Private Lonnie Highbear. Private Lonnie Highbear. Hey Bear. I'll get my own name right here soon. Private Lonnie Haybear of the Brotherhood. How's it going today?
The super mutant looks at you and says, "Clad man, pay toll."
Understood. What's the cost?
The super mutant looks at you and looks unsure, and you hear a voice from behind the gate that says, "Just get their weapons." And the super mutant looks at you, Lonnie, and says, "Weapons."
Boss, if you don't mind, let me take care of this one. And I promise I won't cut off their arms first thing. Maybe second thing, but not first thing.
Just remember that this is an elected position and your constituency is watching.
I whispered to Lonnie, is that me? Do I get a vote? Do I need to register?
By the constituent.
We'll get to that, but yes, you absolutely get to vote.
Okay, great.
The screen turns red in his Pip-Boy and says,
Voting is a right.
and it turns off.
Yeah, Clark, if you wanna step in on this one.
I make a roll
Yep.
for bartering.
Sure.
charisma on
Yeah.
this
If you.
guy?
So what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I think I'll go the charisma route and try and just say, how about we keep our weapons? You open this gate for fucking lowball it 5 caps.
And I'll look at Clark and just like, we've got that Mirelurk meat too.
Okay. Do a charisma plus barter difficulty 0.
I got my 1 success. Oh, 2 successes, I guess. It's tag.
So the super mutant looks at you and looks at it says offer accepted, and he holds out his hand, but he says, but let me check first, and he takes back his hand, and he walks inside the gate and closes it behind him and walks back out and says, 5 caps now, but talk to Rick inside.
Mr. Mayor, I assume that the Treasury Department will reimburse me at some point.
Yes. We'll have to discuss that. It's not a department I've really thought about. I've not really dealt with caps too terribly much, so the value is a little weird to me. But yeah, we'll make sure that you're reimbursed for your contributions.
You can give him the 5 caps.
Okay, so you give the super mutant 5 caps, and he takes you to the door and opens it, and he says, "You may enter. No one else."
That Clark or
It's Clark, who's the person that gave the caps.
Right. Well, I'm going to talk to this Rick guy, and I guess one way or another, I'll get you in.
The super mutant leads Clark in and closes the door behind. Clark, you enter a bridged area. At the end of the bridge, you see a couple of people, and one person starts running on their hands and feet, almost like a horse galloping, and comes up and sticks their finger at you and says, "You fell for the oldest trick in the book, and now you're gonna die for it, you stinking son of a bitch." And at this point, you need to roll an athletics plus, I think it's athletics plus perception, because this dude just threw a giant rock at you. Difficulty 1.
I'm going to spend an AP, and I still don't get it. Successes.
This rock actually hits your. So what was your roll? What was your rolls again?
I got an 18, an 18, and an 11, so no successes.
The rock hits you, and it doesn't do any damage, but it does knock your sword across the bridge towards the people. The way it ricochets off of your belt, your sword goes flying across the bridge. At this point, guns are drawn, and the man says, "You'll die for not paying enough."